All right, good morning. I'm Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Gualtieri, and we're here this morning to talk about a murder that happened here in Pinellas County, specifically in the High Point area, which we call Clearwater, but it's unincorporated Pinellas County. And the victim in that murder as a result of a robbery is Marco Waters. And Marco was shot and killed on February 26, 2001 in front of 15231 Verona Avenue. Marco had recently received a $5,000 tax refund check, and he was, as I said, the victim of a robbery where he was shot and killed. We're unsure exactly how much money was taken in the robbery, but based upon various accounts, it was probably somewhere between $3,000 and $10,000. Marco was killed in front of his sister's apartment. His sister, Takitha, who's here this morning and will speak to you. Marco's sister witnessed the robbery and described the suspects as two black males who wore bandanas over their faces. During the course of the investigation, detectives developed two suspects in the murder of Marco, Willie Clark and John Clark, both black males. Willie is serving a life sentence in the Florida Department of Corrections in the state prison system for robbery, and John Clark will be released from the state prison system in 2021, also serving an extensive prison sentence for robbery. And the other folks that are here this morning are members of the Springtime Club in Clearwater, and these are, and Yolanda and others, are concerned citizens who are trying to help law enforcement, the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office and the Clearwater Police Department and others, trying to break this unfortunate, but is reality, code of silence on the street. Because the, quote, word on the street is given to detectives that Willie Clark was the shooter of Marco. Witnesses did put Willie Clark in the High Point area around the time of the murder, but we've been unable to get a witness to come forward to prove that, quote, word on the street. Clark did brag that night about having committed a robbery, but it's insufficient and doesn't provide us enough evidence to charge Willie or John Clark. Willie and John Clark are cousins. Willie Clark was interviewed, and as you can imagine, he denied being the shooter, and he implicated John Clark as the shooter. John Clark has been interviewed, and he points to Willie as the shooter, but denies any personal involvement in the robbery or the murder. And this evening, the family and members of the Springtime Club are going to hold a vigil out in High Point in the area where the murder occurred. And the hope, the desire, the intent is to get somebody who's got information, because we know there are people out there that have firsthand knowledge and have firsthand information, but are reluctant, scared, and we understand why, to come forward and provide what's necessary to prove a criminal case and allow us to charge those who are responsible for this murder. And we want people to know that the family needs closure. And this is about providing closure for the family, providing accountability, and providing justice. And while people are reluctant, afraid sometimes to come forward, it's the right thing to do, and we want them to do that. We need them to do that. We need help. And that's where these ladies in the Springtime Club are trying to break down that barrier in the community and encourage people to do the right thing and to come forward and to help the family get the closure and to provide justice. This is something that we can't do alone, law enforcement can't do alone, because we need the community's help and support. We need witnesses. We have to be able to prove a case. And word on the street is not enough, but there's enough there. We're confident we know who committed the crime. Now it's a matter of being able to prove it. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Takitha, who will share some remarks on behalf of the family.
Hello. I'd like to say thank the Sheriff's Department, thank the media for coming out. Even though it's been 14 years, it's not an easy 14 years. You know, the holidays, the birthdays, the kids' birthdays. You know, you think and wonder, what would he do? But all I can do is say, what would he have done? In this, everybody want to know, you run around, you talking, if I say something, I'm a snitch. It's not a snitch. You're just giving the family closure, just pointing them in a sense of direction. I know I'm jumping around, y'all. But I'm gonna be short and sweet. If anybody, y'all know anything, please come forward. Marco had a lot of friends, and I know y'all, some of y'all may know something. And again, it's not being a snitch, it's just leading them into the right direction. Tonight, there is a candlelight visual for him in a High Point area at the community center from 7 to 9. And I'd like everybody to be there. Yeah, I'd like to say nothing else. Anybody else? Stacy? Clarence? Anybody? Cool. Okay.
Wanda, do you have anything you want to say? Okay. And this is a tough time for the family, as you can tell. And again, they need closure, and it's not about being a snitch. It's about doing the right thing. It's about helping these people out who have been devastated by Marco's death and are still feeling the pain after 14 years. And we would like nothing better to help them to get that closure. But we need the community help and the community support and for somebody to come forward. So I'll take any questions that anybody has or the family.
I'd like to know a little bit more about Marco as far as, if he was a father, if he was a husband, what his personal life was like.
Sure.
If there's anybody in the family that can
Sure. Who wants to speak to that? Because you all are better equipped to do that than I am. Go ahead. And just tell them your name.
My name is Stacy Mathis. I am the mother of 4 of Marco's children. He has a total of 6. They're all up here. Marco was a good dude. He was a hard worker. He was loved by many. Like he was loved by many. And we have, of course, I have 4 kids with him, and he has 2 daughters with Maria. It's been hard because, he was my first love, the father of my children, and had a smile that lit up any room, had a giving heart, a kind person, and just, I would say to anybody, imagine it being your brother, your son, your friend, your cousin, your father. Wouldn't you want somebody to tell what happened if they knew what happened? It can't bring them back, but it'll give us closure. In 14 years, we've celebrated so much, and we just celebrated graduation of his firstborn, my oldest son. A glorious occasion, but also was bittersweet because his dad was not there to participate in that. But all around, Marco was a nice guy, giving, he was a good person. And he did not deserve to be taken from his family the way he was at 23 years old. And thank you, Ms. Yolanda and the Springtime Club for all your dedication, the many, many text messages and emails, and for putting our kids' story out, for bringing it back to the spotlight. And not a good spotlight, but it's a good spotlight because they can get closure. And the person or people who did this, you impacted our lives in a bad way, but you did not make us fall. It's triumph out of tragedy. And the Springtime Club has really been a driving force to help us get to this point, to be able to put it back out there and to share with the community who Marco is, who Marco was, and for us to get closure. So thank you.
And the Springtime Club is another part of this story. I first met Yolanda probably, I don't know, about a year ago or so, and she came to me and wanted to partner with the sheriff's office. She'd been working with Clearwater for a while, and they try, I don't think they need to, but they try and take a low profile and fly under the radar. They don't like notoriety, they don't like publicity, they like their message to be publicized, but they individually, as the women of the Springtime Club, and we've been able to, and been proud to, and fortunate to, and privileged to be able to support them in a number of efforts, a number of events, and we'll continue to do that because these ladies are what's right about the community. They're doing the right thing for the right reasons. It's not about them. It's about trying to help others and to help their community and to make a difference and to make change and to affect change with something that's hard. What they're trying to do is not easy. What they're trying to do is extremely difficult. They're trying to break down that code of silence, that barrier, and that wall between the community and law enforcement, and in the name of doing the right thing for these folks, which is the family. So, I really applaud the Springtime Club for their efforts. It really is a grassroots effort, but it's a very sophisticated effort in many respects, and they've got it right. And they are the kind of people that we need as we talk about issues and concerns and relationships between law enforcement and the community and the troubles of the community, around the country, is that these ladies in this organization are doing the right thing, and they're doing it for the right reasons, and it's a great partnership that they have with law enforcement. So they deserve recognition for that, although they don't want it, they deserve it. So my hat's off to them on their efforts and what they're doing. You can just tell from the family that they are making a difference, they are having an impact. And after 14 years that we're able to, again, make this plea and bring this case back to light, because there is somebody out there that knows something. These guys ran their mouths. We know they did. We need the people that heard it from them firsthand to come forward so that we can have that corroboration, we can substantiate the criminal charges, we can make the necessary arrests, and importantly, bring closure to the family and provide accountability and let the criminal justice system work.